The Tom Leykis Show.
Excellent.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it at 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. You believe you are in a happy relationship. You do. You do. And maybe you are. But every once in a while, things get bleak. Even in the happiest of relationships, you have a day when you think to yourself, I could have done better. I could have done something else. I could have been with someone else. I was with someone else who was even better. Why did I choose this person when I could have had that person? And you know, many times when you think this, the other person is still out there partying, still out there banging. You see him around town. You see him at a bar, you see him at a restaurant, you see him at Starbucks. You see him, her. They're out there, floating around. You know they're there. Maybe once in a while you allow yourself to fantasize about what could have been. Maybe you fantasize about it more than once in a while. In some cases, it goes so crazy that you're having sex with one person with your eyes closed, and you're imagining they're another person. The person you would have really been happy with. The person who, if only you had the guts to break up with the person you are with now, you'd be with today. Chances are it'll never happen. You've thought about it. You've considered it. You've played with the idea. Maybe every once in a while that person gives you a call to see how's married life, how's it going. Ever get that how's married life call? I must tell you, having been an Angelino for many, many years, that with the divorce rate we have here, you get those calls all the time. As you know, I've been married many times. And when I have been in one of these so-called permanent relationships, my phone rings off the hook. Get these calls. How's it going? How's married life treating you? How you doing? And the reality is that that person is calling to check and see if you've gotten a divorce yet, to see if you've split up with your live-in. Because in L.A., generally, it's accepted that you're with someone for 5 years, 3 years, 6 years, 10 years. But at some point, just like every car on the road that was bought new, eventually it gets taken, traded in for another model. And that car sits on the used car lot until somebody else buys it and drives it. So people call you to see how it's going. How's it going? You ever get those calls? How's it going? Then they push a little further to see how happy you are or aren't. We should have coffee sometime. And if they're really bold, it'll be, we should have a drink sometime. Like the old days. We should have a drink. And in Southern California, then you have the people who are really, really bold. Ever have the person say to you this one? If you live in SoCal, you've gotten this call. One day, you know what we should do? We always talked about doing this, and we never did it. We should take a drive up the coast. A drive up the coast? How far up the coast? Ventura? Santa Barbara? San Simeon? San Luis Obispo? Morro Bay? Reading? Vancouver? How far up the coast? Come on. When somebody says, let's take a drive up the coast, what are they really saying? They like to look at water? They like putting mileage on their cars? No. They're testing the limits of your boundaries. They want to see what you would do if you got 100 miles away, 150 miles away, 175 miles away. They want to see how far you would go to see how good your current relationship is. What happens in Santa Barbara does stay in Santa Barbara, Gary. You're absolutely right. Ever taken that drive up the coast, parked your car somewhere on one of the side streets of State Street, and then started nailing all those college bars there? Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, I've never done it, of course, but I know people who have. Come on, let's take a drive. Let's take a drive up the coast. And you go to State Street, and you get a little tipsy, and suddenly it's like, well, cops are crawling all over this place. Yeah, there's a little bed and breakfast right down the block. Let's go there. We can sleep it off, and then we can leave in the morning. Oh, no! I respect your relationship. Of course I wouldn't touch you. No! Ever had one of those? Yeah. Here's why I'm asking you about this, why I'm talking about all of this. You're in a relationship. Happy. Moderately happy, somewhat happy, not that happy, not happy. And out there somewhere, he's not a faceless person, she's not a faceless person. There's an actual, tangible person with a name, with a social security number, with a penis or a vagina. There's an actual being out there. Somebody who, if you had the balls to leave, or somebody who, if you hadn't gotten married, or somebody who, if you ever had that one big argument, which you will probably start just to have an excuse to do it, you would be, even for one night, even for 1 hour, even for one day, you would be with them. Your husband, your wife, your live-in boyfriend or girlfriend, they don't even know about this, or maybe they suspect, but they don't know the extent to which you think about it. In some cases, you take it a step further without actually doing anything so you don't feel guilty. Some cases, you send each other an email. You get on to like AOL or MSN and you chat online. Maybe a phone call once in a while from the car on the way to work, or call each other at the office once in a while. Maybe you've had lunch. Nothing ever happens. But you're thinking about it, aren't you? Yeah, I know you. You're thinking about it. Maybe you'll never do it. But you like to play with fire. And there it is, right in front of you. You're online. You got the buddy list fired up, and there you are. There the other person logs on, and well, you can say anything because nobody's looking. You got the computer set up in the kitchen there on the dining room table. You got it facing the right way so nobody can just sneak up on you. Nobody can come up on from behind. That's the worst. Ever doing that? Ever chatting with someone you're not supposed to chat with and suddenly somebody says, boo? From behind? Yeah, love that. No, honey, I'm not chatting with anybody. No. Anyway, here's what I want to find out from you, okay? There you are, you're in a relationship, but there's that other person out there, maybe you've never even spent any time looking at them or having lunch with them. Maybe it's only been in your mind. Maybe it's only been an instant message. Maybe it's only been an occasional email. Maybe it's just somebody you see there at the Starbucks while you're in there getting your Grande Tiazzi or whatever you're getting over there. Look, that's what I want to know. I want to know about that other person. The one you would consider being with if you weren't with the person you're with now. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I don't think you're anything like your air personality.
Maybe this is just a small slice of the whole pie.
Good or bad?
I guess I have to leave that up to the rest of humanity to decide.
The Tom Leykis Show.
800-5800-TOM. All right, there you are. You're in a relationship. But on those bad days, you think about the person you would have been with, should have been with, might someday be with. Loretta on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
The ratings, Loretta.
Uh-huh. It is so scary, man. Everything you said was exactly what I've been going through.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, tell us about your marriage.
You know, it's pretty good, and that's what the scary part is. Yeah, it's really scary. Oh, sorry.
What's scary? Tell us.
It's just that, I really like that other guy, and he's like a friend, and my husband knows him, but he has, like, no idea what's going on.
How long have you been married, Loretta?
A year and a half.
And did it get bad all of a sudden, or has it always been bad, or what?
No, it's good. It's good. That's what the messed up thing is. You know, I just, like, met that other guy, and...
And who is this guy?
I met him through a mutual friend, and...
Oh, what? Your friend was trying to hook you up with somebody? How did you meet him? Tell me how you met him.
Just like through a mutual friend, you know, he's just hanging out with people.
Mutual friend said, hey, I know you're married, but I've got a guy who's a nice guy, too.
That was actually at a party.
You were at a party without your husband?
No, he was there.
He was there?
Yeah.
And where was your husband when you were meeting this other guy?
Right there in the room.
He was right there in the room, or he was right there with you, by your side?
Like, they're in the room. It's like, all of a sudden, like, you just look at that guy and you're like, oh, shoot.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like one of those things where he was like all of a sudden in a fairy tale, you're like, oh man, I thought I was with the right guy, but you look at that other person and you're like, I don't know what to do now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. And now you met him, but you didn't exchange email addresses or phone numbers or anything, did you?
No, yeah, we have.
You have? When did you do that?
Practically the next day.
Well, how did you talk to him the next day? You weren't at the party anymore.
It's one of those guys that he's in a band, so he just post up a message, and then he saw my email address and he started emailing me.
Wait. He saw your email address where?
On a post on a website.
So, what was your email address doing on a website?
Well, you know, you go on a certain kind of website, you know, like, and, you know, you just put up a post, you're just chatting with people, and you just put up, like, where you are and your email address.
Well, how did this guy know what website to look at? There's 4 billion websites. How did he know that you were on this website?
Because he's in a band.
He's in a band?
Yeah, so, you know, you go on there and say, you know, hey.
But how did he know what website you were on?
It's his website.
It's his band's website. So you got on his band's website?
Yeah, just like, you know.
Had you ever been on it before?
Yeah.
So you knew who he was when you met him?
Yeah.
You knew he was in a particular band?
Yeah.
And then you got on their website?
Yeah.
And you posted a message which had your email address, and you were hoping he'd see it, of course.
I was fooling myself in the beginning.
And he did see it.
Yeah.
And he wrote you.
Yeah.
And you wrote back.
Yeah.
And what kinds of things did you two write to each other about?
Oh, I don't know, man. He just started, like, totally coming on to me, and it started getting really scary because, you know, I don't want to mess anything up with my relationship, but at the same time, like you said, playing with fire all the time. It's like you just want comfort, but at the same time, you want excitement.
Right. And you don't realize those are pretty much mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So you get online, and when you say he comes on to you, I mean, is he graphic? Does he tell you what he'd like to do to you?
Commenting on like how I looked and that he wished that I wasn't married and stuff like that.
And when you write back, do you say, "Yo, Hope, don't say that. I'm married. I could never, ever do something like that."
No, I actually, that's the messed up thing. I never ever like.
You what?
Single, but I'm not.
You tell him you're single?
No, he knows I'm married, and he's just like, nah, I need to like get rid of this. You know, this is one thing that this is not cool.
Yeah, but it's not cool. But like when you respond to him coming on to you, what do you say?
I totally reciprocate.
You totally reciprocate. What do you say?
You know, just I wish I wasn't married. It would be so cool. Stuff like that.
It would be so cool. Does it ever get really graphic?
Yeah, a little bit.
How graphic does it get? What does he say?
Well, you know, just talks about
We'll bleep you if we have to bleep you. Go ahead. What does he say?
Well, he just says that he'd like to see me naked, and then he talks about the size of it and stuff like that.
Really? And what do you say?
Just, I don't know. It gets pretty hot.
I guess so. You respond in kind, saying you'd like him to penetrate you somehow.
I'd like him to, yeah.
Yeah. Really? But you really wouldn't, or you really would?
I wish I could.
You wish you could?
Yeah.
And doesn't that really mean that, well, someday you might?
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Uh-huh. I see you're 24, already married for a year and a half. Isn't that what I always tell people, Loretta?
Yeah, I know. When I started listening to your show, I'm like, oh, shoot, now something's going to come up, you know. And you yeah.
Sounds like it has come up.
Huh?
Sounds like something has come up, yes.
Right.
Oh, boy. All right, so now you're saying, oh, I have to stop, but you'll be writing to him again probably tonight.
I do. I get up, like, you know, I say, I need to email my friend, you know, she wants to see me at Coffee House next week, so I email her.
You're all moist just thinking about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. A message to the young marrieds out there.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah, 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. And we are trying to find out about, all right, there you are. Happy, married, at least you were, or in a relationship with somebody, like a live-in relationship or something, but out there somewhere, maybe far away, maybe not so far away, there is somebody who you could have been with, should have been with, would have been with, might be with in the future. Who knows? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Sammy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What up, Tom?
Just the ratings, Sammy.
Yeah. I've got the same description as that previous girl that was on the line. I don't know what to do. Maybe you can give me some feedback.
Well, tell me about your relationship currently. You're married?
2 years.
2 years, and you're 25, and of course, you know what we say about getting married before 25.
What's that?
That this is exactly the kind of thing that happens. That you didn't have enough fun and have enough experiences?
You know, I think I've had enough experiences, but this guy is like, he's just like God to me.
Well, tell me about your husband, first of all.
Okay, my husband's a great guy. But,
He's a great guy.
You know, like guys do it all the time. Why can't girls do it, you know?
Well, does your husband do it?
I don't think so. I probably can say I'm 80% sure he doesn't.
Right.
But...
So why are you worried about what other guys do? It's only your husband that matters, right?
Uh-huh. But this guy, the guy that I've got this infatuation over, he's been my trainer for long before I met my husband.
I see.
And he used to be my trainer, and then, you know, one thing led to another.
One thing led to another? What do you mean one thing led to another? Every time you say one thing led to another, it means you left out all the good stuff.
He was training me in the gym and training me on the side.
So you've been with him. You've had sex with this guy.
Uh-huh.
In the past, before your husband.
Yeah.
And then when you got with your husband, did you tell him?
The only reason why I was having sex with him is because I'm fully in love with his physical, like, appearance, everything. It's just sexual. That's all it is, you know? Right. No emotional, no nothing.
So when you met your husband, were you still having sex with this guy?
Yeah, you could say.
What do you mean I could say?
It only happened
it's either yes or no, dear.
It's only happened twice.
Don't lay any denial on me here, okay? It's only happened twice. It happened twice since you met your husband. Were both of those times before you got married?
It was after.
After.
Uh-huh.
So your husband comes into the picture, and you two have a joint checking account, and he's helping you pay the bills, like the trainer and other stuff. And there you were a couple of times. You went and took another couple of stabs at the trainer.
Yeah. I don't know why. He's just like this. He you know, like the kind of the typical guy, like, you know, the one that treats girls bad. He's a typical
guy, the one who treats girls bad. Boys, are you listening? This is why you have to be like that.
The typical, you know, like, badass guy who thinks he's just hardcore and, you know...
Which he is, because there you are married and he's still sticking it to you.
But he doesn't know I'm married.
And the trainer doesn't know you're married. You didn't want to ruin a good thing by telling him you're married.
No, because he wouldn't... He told me a long time ago he would never get involved with a married chick, you know, so I keep it secret.
So he has principles.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Oh, he told you he wouldn't do it if you were married. If you didn't believe he had principles, you'd tell him.
Yeah, but that's what all guys say to get into girls' pants. Come on, don't get...
Oh, I see. So you think, well, why'd you tell him you're married?
Because I didn't want to take the chance.
Oh, he might have principles and you didn't want to take a chance.
I don't want to take the chance.
I see.
So you gotta be smart like that, Tom.
I see. Okay. But you only did it twice. Why not 20 times?
Because I'm getting scared now, you know? Like, what happens if I get caught, you know? Like, it's pretty scary.
You might get caught. Does your husband ever meet you at the gym?
No, actually he goes to a different gym than I do.
Okay, does he ever come pick you up when you're done?
No, are you kidding me? We go to different gyms. I go to a different gym than he does.
And was that your idea or his?
It was mine.
It was yours. Honey, there's just a bunch of chicks in here, and they're all ugly, and you should go to another gym.
That's exactly what I tell him.
Of course. Gym. And he wanted to go to a real guy gym. He went to Gold's Gym because it's a guy gym, and you go to like...
No, because like we already had our gyms established when we met. You know, he went to his own gym, and I went to mine. We never really changed anything, you know?
Uh-huh.
So...
It seems like you really never changed anything.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like, this guy he won't get off my mind. I think about him when I wake up.
It's not your mind.
Huh?
It's not your mind. He won't get off.
Yeah, pretty much. And everything in between, right?
So only twice, and you've been married for 2 years? What, once a year?
No, it's such a bizarre, because I work, you know, like 9 to 5, so I can't do anything during the week, because I got to come home, you know, so by the time I get home, it's pretty late. So the only time that, you know, you can possibly do something is like when I say I'm going to the gym, and, you know.
And then you don't?
Yeah, I come home and I spray myself with all this, you know, water to make it look like I worked out. I don't really need to. I could wear my clothes and pretend like...
You could probably just use the sweat from banging this guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-huh. Oh, what a workout I had today, honey. Oh. I was there with the butt blaster.
My back's really sore, right?
Yeah, exactly. My God. Okay. And so why don't you just break up with the husband and take up with the trainer?
No, because the husband is actually someone you can, like, you know, have a future with. The trainer.
There we go. Boys, you see, this is what happens when you are nice and reliable and dependable. She will let you pay the electric bill.
Don't be a double standard.
And the rent and the mortgage. Hey, wait a minute. Don't tell me there's a double standard here. I do not tell married guys to F around. In fact, I tell them if you want to F around, don't get married. I tell them that. Don't tell me there's a double standard here, dear. You're not listening to me. I've said this on the air many times. If you're not done effing around, don't get married.
Okay, maybe that's what you say, but 90% of...
I don't care what the other guys do. You know what? If you catch your husband with another woman, go ahead, F anybody you want to. But you know what? You've got no proof of that. And the 20% chance that you think he is just your denial talking.
No, it's not denial.
Oh, so you think there's actually a 1 in 5 chance that your husband is banging around too?
Yeah, because he comes home late, you know, sometimes, and it's not...
Probably working so he can pay for your gym membership.
No, I know he doesn't. He has a 9 to 5 just like I do. He doesn't need to come home at
Yeah, but you know what? People do work late. Why don't you go and visit him at the office?
I do.
And is he at the office?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he's not banging other chicks. He's at the office, and you know he's at the office.
Yeah,
because...
but what happens if he comes home at 11 o'clock on, like, a Tuesday night? Okay, he gets off at 5. So between 5 and 11...
I don't know how hard your husband works. I know sometimes I have to come home late. I know that I have to have meetings with clients, and I know that I've had to have meetings with my agent, and I know that I have to read commercials late into the night sometimes. I have work to do. And you know what? A lot of men do. And when he's coming home 11 o'clock at night, you could always go down and surprise him with dinner. You could always
That's what I do. I'm so...
But you do, and then when you get there, he's there. Do you ever go down when he's supposed to be working late, get to the office and find that he's not there?
No, because I don't want him to think that I'm spying on him. Never.
So, but you've never, every time you've gone to the office, he was there like he was supposed to be, wasn't he?
Oh, no, I would call him before I come down.
I see.
I don't want him to ever think that, like, you know, I'm...
Because you're afraid he'll spy on you.
Pretty much.
But the way to do it is like, say, you just want to surprise you. I just wanted to bring you lunch, honey. I just wanted to bring you dinner, honey. I love you. I just wanted to come down and say hello. You don't come down and go, I just wanted to see if you were some other chick. And you're lucky you weren't. You don't do it that way.
Yeah.
But you're so busy doing bad things on the side, you feel guilty going in.
No, I'm not so
You're afraid
busy.
you're going to get caught.
You just said yourself, two times in 2 years, so why not more? You just said yourself.
Well, yeah, why at all? If you're not done banging your trainer, why'd you get married? And the reason is because you wanted some guy whose last name you could stick on the poor kids you're going to create, and you want some poor guy who's going to pay the light bill while you're busy banging the trainer. That's why.
So I should quit.
Of course you should quit. In fact, you should quit that goddamn trainer.
That's a good idea, Tom.
Unless you're just full of crap and you really want to keep living a life of a double life, a life of lies.
No, I really don't. But honestly, I think most people who had in some kind of like a sexual relationship before they got married, they don't. It's difficult for them to like drop it as soon as they get married. Like I'm not going to.
Dear, stop rationalizing this. Everybody's not you.
No, I'm not saying that you'll sleep with them, but I'm saying like you'll think about it. You've never thought about somebody.
Dear, thinking about it and having somebody stick their penis inside you are two different things.
Yeah, you're right.
And then lying to that person about being married, too.
But he's never asked, you know, so why tell?
Dear, you tell because that way, maybe if he does have some scruples, you're not doing something like this.
So your suggestion would be not to do anything?
My suggestion is either get a divorce and bang anybody you want, or be married.
I like your second thought better.
So what, are you going to get a divorce?
No. Tell the guy, just, you know, be with one guy.
Hang on a second. Leah, what did you want to say to Sammy here?
Hi, hi Tom.
Hi, Sammy.
I just don't understand why you want to jeopardize a good relationship with your husband for a fling.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But, you know, I mean, there's lots of women out there that long for a good relationship, and you have one, and this guy's working hard, obviously. You said you've gone to his office, and, you know, he's there working late at night, and you're out for a one-night stand.
I know.
What, is he not satisfying you? Is your husband not satisfying you?
No, it's called,
It's called he's a nice guy who eventually will buy a house and pay the mortgage. He's Poindexter. He's a little nicer looking and maybe a little less awkward, but he's just a nice, dependable guy who couldn't get a date in high school. And now, while Sammy was busy banging the trainer and every other hot-looking guy, now she's ready to settle down, but she's not ready to settle down completely. She just wants somebody. Well, no, but in her mind, she wants a nice, reliable guy she can bring home to her mother's house on Thanksgiving, somebody she can name the kids after, somebody who'll pay the light bill while she's busy getting it from the trainer.
Exactly. She's a little slut. So tell you what, why don't you tell your husband what's going on, divorce him, and let him go to somebody who would appreciate him and be loyal to him like he is to her.
good call. What's your name, Lara? Lonnie?
Leah.
Leah? Thanks, Leah.
All right, Leah. Thank you. Matt, what do you want to say to Sammy?
Tom, she's making me sick. I can't stand it when someone cheats on someone they're supposed to care about.
Matt?
Yes.
Is that you? Thanks,
It is me.
Matt.
Thanks? That's all you have to say?
Yeah.
Thanks.
And Tom?
Yes.
I'd like to thank you because I'm a fellow atheist, and because of you, I came out of the closet a couple years ago.
Oh, love that. Matt, Sammy, thank you.
1-800-5800-TOM.
The more money you make, the more power you have. The more power you have, the more money you have. The more money you have, the more power you have. The more money and power you have, the more poon you can consume.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah, the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. By the way, some woman called in and said that if Sammy's husband has a little free time, she'd be happy to come over and help him fill it. Oh, yeah, baby. It's Maria on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, Maria.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you care, Maria?
I do.
I'm doing great.
Great.
What can I do for you?
I just wanted to say I've been married for 5 years, and I had a one-night stand after a couple of drinks, and there's someone that I talked to.
Of course, thing is, you knew before you had the drinks that you were having the drinks, so that later on when you got caught, you could say, well, I was having a couple of drinks.
No, actually what had happened was my husband started a new job, and we were both supposed to go on this trip, and only I went because he started a new job, so he couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I had sex on the beach on my mind, and that's what happened.
That's because you were on the beach without your husband. It was on your mind before you had the drinks.
Yeah.
So you had the drinks, so you'd have an excuse.
Well,
I had a drink, and then I had another drink, and then one thing led to another.
Well, see, the thing is, I didn't actually remember I had gone all the way until, like, the next day, you know, when you get little bits and pieces.
Until the district attorney was doing DNA tests on your panties.
That's the thing, too. A little bit after that, I was pregnant, and I wasn't sure if it was my husband or that.
No! Did you have the baby?
No, I couldn't not be sure, so I couldn't.
Oh, my God. I wonder how many women have that secret. Guys who are just blissfully married, and they have no idea their wives have done something like that.
This was a couple years ago. We've been married 5 years now.
Yeah.
And right now everything is great. When you want to mess around, I guess, you do find flaws and excuses to do it. But when you think about it, like you had one of your callers say, why do you want to jeopardize something good? That's what came to my mind all of a sudden. It's like, what the hell am I doing? There's girls who get beat, and there are guys drink all night and screw around, and from what I know, I don't have any problem like that. So I'm like, what am I doing?
Uh-huh. So have you decided definitely not to do that again, or
Yeah.
you sure that couldn't happen?
No, well, right now there's a man, an old man who works with me, but, you just use him so he can come and help me. Because I deliver mail.
He's interested in you.
Yeah, but he's an old man. as old as you can be. I mean, he's ready to retire.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes and finishes his ride and hurries up and comes and helps me.
Really? Do you ever unbutton a button on your blouse just so you can get a better look?
He says, for every button that you unbutton, I'll give you $100.
How did I know?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Didn't you say that every man likes fake breasts?
I said in this country, my husband's Brazilian.
They love those asses in Brazil. You got a big whopping J-Lo ass. You know what I'm saying? You got that Jennifer Lopez thing going on.
No.
Big
but I would love
ass.
The Tom Leykis.
Send us an email. I read all of them personally, and we use a lot of them on the air. So if you don't believe me, try me. Just write to me at tom@blowmeuptom.com. The address is tom@blowmeuptom.com. Now, if you have comments about the show, sometimes we play these on the air, if they're interesting. You can call our comment line and leave it for us at 310-842-9592. That's 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.